Um, Welcome everyone to our Digital Access Community Coalition call. I'm excited that you could join us. For those of you that I maybe haven't met, I'm Chelsea Summerlin, the ICFL's Digital Skills Library Consultant, and looks like we got a couple of other ICFL staff members here. There's Stephanie, the State Librarian, and Dina here as well, and then Marina, who you'll be hearing from a little bit later. So if you want to introduce yourselves in the chat and let us know where you're at, that would be fabulous. You can also let us know what your favorite fall activity is. So the purpose of these calls is to provide networking and learning around digital access topics in Idaho. As you may know, the ICFL's digital access work had to change with the cancellation of our grant, but that does not mean that we can't still engage and learn from one another. If you have topics or projects you'd like to share with the group, I'll throw a short form in the chat for you. I'm always interested to hear what folks are up to. For today, we have two guests. First up, we'll have Courtney Brown, the Business Liaison Librarian with Meridian Library District's unBound branch, to share about the workforce development and small business support that they provide. Then Marina, the ICFL's e-resources library consultant, will share about the cool business-related resources you can find on lily.org. We will have time for questions, so throw those in the chat and I'll raise them as we go or hold them until the end. We are planning on wrapping up here at noon Mountain Time. This call is being recorded and I'll send out the recording to everyone who registered. And with that, I am going to turn it over to Courtney. Take it away.
Thank you, Chelsea. Appreciate you. I am going to share my slides really fast. If I can do that. Should be able to just share my screen. It's the green button that says share. Great. All right. Okay. Are you guys able to see my slides?
Looks like we're seeing your desktop
Okay.
view, not your slides.
Let's try again.
It's always something with Zoom. There we go.
Okay. Okay. So, unBound, yes. Thank you everybody for being able to take the time to be here today, and Chelsea for having us talk about unBound and our resources and experiences. If you guys have any questions, please feel free to shout them out. And yeah, I'm happy to answer them. So I did want to give a little shout out to Cassandra Schiffler, who is with the Meridian City Arts Commission. She was able to get this arranged for us to have this beautiful mural put on the side of our building here. And the artist, it took him less than a week to do this, but it's this kind of beautiful,
Courtney,
yes.
we've got a little audience window showing up that I think is kind of blocking the view of the slides here. And that mural looks fabulous from what I can see. So I don't want to miss it. It looks like on our end, it looks like you can just click an X to make it go away.
Okay, let me see. I don't have an X over here, but let me. Our favorite thing to say is we work at a tech library, and it's true. Okay. Okay, there we go. Better?
Yes, that's perfect.
Okay, perfect. Okay. So yes, it's hard to see this the full mural from just this picture here, but it's this like technology to human to technology to human, and there's 3D printers and all of this. So if you guys want to see the full mural, you can come in and get a tour of the library and be happy to show you everything. So yeah, getting started. So yeah, the idea of unBound really was put into action by being able to apply for a grant. We got a grant, we were accepted, and were able to purchase our first 3D printer, just a single 3D printer there. And we were able to get programs started at our Cherry Lane branch it was kind of a pop-up maker lab where we would put together all of the 3D, well, the 3D printer and have it be open to the public. And then we would tear it down and have to store the 3D printer and the filament and all the maintenance supplies and keep doing that over and over. And we realized we were gaining quite a bit of community interest, and it's kind of that iconic line from Jaws that you're going to need a bigger boat at that point. It was, in this case, a permanent boat. So we were able to speak with the city and able to lease one of their old bank buildings that they had that had been vacated for just $1 before they tore it down to make room for apartments that were downtown. So it was almost a trial run to see what the community response was going to be. And we had things like Raspberry Pi and VR robotics, and was able to do programs like Girls Who Code, and there was a lot of really good feedback from the community and a lot of interest. So at that point, we were able to get on the ballot and was voted in by the public to be able to get, we were the first capital project in the 2019 levy. So you can see the pictures here of kind of the evolution of it, but this is the first, this is the building when we got it, and it's
We're
this
not,
kind of
sorry, slides again. I'm not seeing, I'm still seeing the front page of your slide deck. I'm not seeing it advance.
really, what in the world? Okay. This is so good.
Tech problems. Just, they're universal. And the more techy you are, I feel like the more tech problems you get.
Okay, let me do this. Is it in a different one? Let's see. Potentially. And it's still
There we go. Yep. Seeing it move forward.
okay. That's so weird. It was already on there. I just like moved it back and forth, but this is fine. Okay, so we're seeing it. Yes. So this the top one is kind of that, just to kind of recap, the top one is the when we'd first started, and then this is the bank building, and here's the building we were able to get. It's kind of a beautiful little transition story of us being able to purchase an old mom and pop tech shop, that the tech repair shop. So it's kind of small business and technology that was able to stay in the community for small business and technology library branch. But yeah, so when we were moving, we had to kind of ask ourselves, you know, while we're at it, or do we need to adjust our priorities too for this new branch? Are you guys seeing my next slide, or is it still the same one?
It is still the where we oh, never mind. Pivot and embed. That's what we're seeing.
Okay, we're pivoting. Yes. Yes. So these are kind of those questions that we had to really stop and ask ourselves when we were making this transition. You know, where are the gaps at in the community? Which resources are missing? You know, what is the library's role look like in all of this? And what does the business community want or need? And which technology is relevant or useful? And it might seem obviously like just a bunch of questions, but it's kind of the majority of library work, right? Is just asking a bunch of questions and seeing what answers you get from them, and then lather, rinse, repeat, and doing it all over again. So we're still asking ourselves these same questions, and hopefully keep asking ourselves those questions. But okay, we are going to move to the next slide. There we go. All right. Um, so yeah, our change in identity from the K through 12 STEM kind of to business and technology, the business liaison librarian role was incorporated and included into those changes. Um, this is kind of our way of being able to ask these questions directly to the community and meet them where they're at. It's our chance to really have the conversations, all those questions that we were asking with the community, within the community. I'm the third business liaison librarian that MLD has had, and we've all kind of approached the job differently, and we've all had kind of, I wouldn't say different priorities, but just different focus points maybe on what we were how we were going to kind of attack the role that we were in. It's kind of a new idea of a business or of a librarian role. So I feel like we're kind of figuring it out as we go along. And but the overall theme of that embeddedness, it went through it's carried on with all of us. And that's really, the job is to embed ourselves into the community so we can have these conversations with the community. And we've done it through these different means of, whether it's networking, getting out to like ribbon cuttings, or just random networking events and meeting the community, or outreach efforts, conferences like Boise Entrepreneur Week. That's such a great conference that really is revolving around the business and the technology community, and you can go and see what they are focusing on and what resources they use to get to where they're at, and be able to kind of incorporate that into what we're doing. And one of the things that I did when I got into this role was try to kind of ramp up the amount of programs that we were doing. So these are of several of the programs that we were able to do and put on. My other half of my programs team, Mariah, definitely, I'm sure I gave her quite a few heart attacks with how much I was wanting to do, and she's like, we don't have to do everything right now. We can spread it out, but yeah, it's these have been really, these are kind of our staples that I have on the list here. The LLC, the business bootcamp one, was one that my predecessor had started. And it was kind of in progress when I came into this role. So again, this one, we were able to obtain a grant, and we were able to purchase LLCs for entrepreneurs through the grant. And we had a program and we had the presenters from, Chamber of Commerce and the University of Idaho's lawyers entrepreneurial lawyers clinic. I think that's what it is. They came in and helped with it, and we had enough left over to do another round of it. And then there were some one-on-ones that we had done with the SCORE representatives as mentors to be able to do that as well. So that was a really great program. It was definitely popular and appreciated by the community. It's LLCs are $100, and it seems like just $100, but when you're trying to start, your business and get off the ground, the $100 goes a long way. So this entrepreneurial studio was my very first one that I had done in partnership with the Idaho Women's Business Center. And it was my first time talking into a crowd, and I'm pretty sure I completely sweat through my entire shirt while I was up there. I had to sit with just or stand with just my arms down at my side. So the whole time. But yes, so this one, they put on business. It's like a 6-week cohort, and it's trying to get, your business to that next step. And you get these big binders, and you're able to kind of progress your business through it. And they charge most of the time for these, but they partnered with libraries so that way people could have access to these resources for free. So it was a really great program with that. And just to kind of touch on a couple of these other ones, the libraries as launchpads was another cohort that we did that kind of, being able to use your library as a launchpad for your business, kind of self-explanatory there. But it was a really great program that gave us the idea of our networking breakfast. And this one is something that we've really enjoyed working with. Several of our programs were able to be made possible by meeting community members, and a lot of these were put on by partners or fellow government nonprofits, and they were happy to have that additional bridge to spread awareness of their resources and that extra education as well. So like the Idaho State Tax Commission, SBDC, SCORE, SBA, all of these ones, they've been great to work with. And we did the open office hours as well as an additional community resource. It took a while for them to kind of catch on, but the SCORE is still coming in for their open office hours, and it's a pretty popular resource there. And I've lived here my whole life, and I had no idea until I got into this role how many resources are available to our community. And just being able to bring all of them to the public is huge. And one thing that I've learned is that these partners are happy to be here and don't have any crazy expectations of, there needs to be 30 people at this program or it's not worth it. I didn't realize until the CWI Entrepreneur Lab came in for a tour, and they were very excited. And he was going to bring in his students to show off or show them unBound resources, and nobody showed up. And he felt so bad. And then I had to be that person that was like, no, we're here. We're just happy to have these resources available. And so it's, kind of a full circle there. But so please don't be afraid to ask other entities to partner up or go in on an event. And if nobody shows up, you can go back to that list of questions. And those partners will still be there ready to do their things. So, And conversely, it's okay to break up with partners. You know, if you have that conversation and the you guys realize the juice might not be worth the squeeze anymore, or listen to your community, and they're who we're doing all this for. So just a little pin there. But, okay, moving along. Okay, so this is a picture of our networking breakfast. And I'm gonna talk a little bit more about this because it's kind of our bread and butter and our meat and potatoes, except for those aren't really breakfast items. So it's like ham and eggs and toast and jelly and and all of that. Um, in the sense that we kind of get that digital literacy, that workforce development, the business resources kind of all in one for this program. And it's something that when we started, there was like 5 people that showed up. And one of them was a favor I had called in from a friend. I cashed in one of my chips to pad the numbers because I was just so nervous that 2 people were going to show up and they were gonna be forced to network with each other the whole time. So I'm like, let's get an extra one. But slowly but surely, more people started showing up, and now we have a consistent like 27 to 32 people show up each time. And with our capacity being 37, we're back to that. We're gonna need a bigger boat. But um these have really evolved over the years, and it was about probably 9 months to a year into it that we decided we were going to have presenters come in. So we 7:30 to 9 a.m. It's before the doors open for the library, before hours, I guess. Um, and people will kind of mingle for a half hour, and then we have our presenters go up, and each month is a different topic. And so it kind of gets people engaged with different things, and it gives our both our nonprofit community and the small business community a small platform to be able to get their education and their name out. And we keep it strictly to educational purposes. It's not salesy or anything like that. But yeah, so these have really evolved over the years. We tried to kind of spotlight different diners at first, and kind of the money that we were spending on breakfast, put it back into the business community. But that turned out to be a little bit more stressful, having to find a different place each time. So we partner up with one of our diners, and they hook us up with free coffee each month, and sometimes they throw in pastries, and we get bacon from them first thing in the morning. And so that's kind of an incentive for people to come to our breakfast as well, bacon, free bacon. Anyways, so yes, this is kind of one of our babies here. But this has been it's amazing to watch people make connections and grow from their businesses, and partner up with their businesses, just from programs that you're putting on at the library. And people see other people present, and then they're like, how do I present? So it's not that you have to like go track down other presenters each time. They kind of come to you at that point. But so yes, there's referrals and all of that. Other programs that we did, we've kind of realized if we build in those networking opportunities, that gives people a way to kind of justify it being a work expense, or a time that they can still be considering it that they're at work, or something that is beneficial from them. So with the lunch and learns, they can come in, have lunch, sit down, and whether it's a coding class, or something business related, whatnot. That's kind of been beneficial as well to kind of get more people in that sense coming to the programs. We also let people just host their own networking groups there. So we don't, put it on the calendar. We don't really do anything with it. We just keep that space available for them. And we've had, 5 or 6 different people, different groups, Veterans Chamber being one of them, just come in and use our space so that way they can have their own networking groups there. But and I did want to touch on one of our databases. It is the Gale Business Plan Builder. That one is great to get your idea kind of out of your head and get it started. And you can start multiple different business plans, and you can do your one page that you're going to take to the bank. Or you can do your 15 long page that, is everything that you can think of to go with your business, and it can break it down and all of that. So anyways, so a couple more of our business related resources. This is our makerspace. So it's I guess under the category of business resources, but they're all designed to be able to advertise for yourself and for your business and get your the word out, your logo out, and all of that. So obviously if you're just crafty and want to come use all of this stuff, it's still open to the public. But yes, that is the theme behind it, the goal behind it there. So I'll go over them quickly, really fast with you. So we do have our 3D printers. We also have resin printers. At this point, I think we have like 13 3D printers, again, with a bigger boat. Yeah. We have CNC laser engravers. I don't know why I put their names. Cersei and Athena are both of both of their names. We name our machines. Yes, the hat press here for the Cricut hat press, his name is Phil, because the guy who donated it to us, his name was Phil. Just fun fact of the day. So yeah, we have a plethora of Cricut machines here, which is really great, honestly. If you've created your logo, or if you're, wanting to make shirts for an event or anything like that, it's really great. So we've got that weatherproof vinyl as well. So if you're wanting to make your car decals or your storefront windows, all of that, there's lots of great options there. Yeah. And let's see. These are a couple other examples here of kind of success stories. It's something we've been wanting to build into, it's one thing to be able to see all of our machines, but kind of being able to see what you can do with them is another thing. So some coasters here. These are little puzzles that were made on the CNC machine. Some acrylic pieces on the CNC as well. We have a rotary for the laser engravers, so you can do, your mugs or your rolling pins. This is resin, and this was a trophy that we had designed and created for the city's water tower championship. And then more CNC laser engraver stuff. So it's really cool. It's really exciting to be able to see what people come up with. Okay, and then a sound studio is another great piece of our puzzle. You could go in there and record your podcast. You can use our green screen to make commercials with one of the cameras that you can come check out from us. And I haven't seen somebody make a commercial yet with our green screen, but I'm excited for somebody to do that. And I tried it, and I just put stuff blowing up in the background. It was the only thing I can think of. So, we've had people do audiobooks, just create music. One of my favorite stories is a guy came up there, and I didn't realize how important picks were, but he was coming up to um, enter a radio contest with their music. And he got there and he's like, oh, I left my pick at home. Now I have to wake up my wife and baby for her to bring it back to me. And I'm like, oh no, I can just 3D print you one. No big deal. It took like 5 minutes. I didn't realize there was different weights to the picks either, but he got what he got, and he entered the competition, and it's fun. Yeah. But so there's been lots of different things that people have utilized our sound studio for. In that, there are editing software up there as well. Logic Pro, Audacity, GarageBand, whichever one makes more sense for you to use for whatever project you're using. You know, everybody's brain also kind of works differently. So a couple different options there for you to choose from. All right. You didn't put it on there, but we also have meeting spaces and share space as well for people to come in. But as far as business resources go, um, moving on to the workforce development stuff. These are this picture is we had the youth empowerment program. It wasn't put on by us, we just hosted it. But this was a great workshop that they did. And it was all about being able to you know, how do you apply for jobs? What do you need to be able to do that? How do you make a resume? How do you, you know, how do you plan on getting to your interview if you don't have a car or, you know, just different topics. And they presented different, all of their projects for it. And it was really cool to be able to watch and be a part of. We also have our small business resource fair that's down here. And it's funny because again, it's like the lines kind of blur of where it's workforce development and where it's business resources and so on, and digital literacy and all of that. So sometimes these resources kind of just like check the boxes for all three of them. But we do the small business resource fair, and this is when we bring in all of the different community organizations throughout the Treasure Valley that we have that are all different ways of whether it's, you know, being able to get ready to apply for a certain job or, you know, what do you need to get your business like off the ground kind of a thing. So we're also about to do our Brand You program, which is brand new to us, but it's like branding yourself. So we're having the SBDC come in and help people with their LinkedIn page and updating it, and then having the Idaho Department of Labor come in and helping people with their resumes and practicing interviews. And we have a photographer who is going to take new headshots for people. And then we're partnering up with one of the I want to say post office, but now that's not right. It's like it's a UPS store, but they are giving out 100 free business cards for every person that goes in there. So it's going to be a great program. Again, it's the first one, so I might panic and just invite random people so that way. Just kidding. But another resource that we have is Book a Librarians. So I've helped people, well, our whole staff has really, and more so than me at this point, definitely. But being able to sit down and get your just check your resume out, help with it. You know, the formatting of it can be so frustrating. So being able to get help with that, learning how to use the different equipment, you know, anything under the moon, as you guys I'm sure all know. But also along with that is those badging appointments to learn how to use all of the machines. And the CNC, it's just a little 8x8, but man, it does, if that's one of the fields that you're trying to go into, it is so expensive to actually go to a place and get trained on how to use and to be able to use this machine. And our volunteer, he's been with us since our first unBound. So he is, 10 years into it at this point and just absolutely loves it. And he's such a great resource. So yeah, the tech for reentry, I put that under workforce development because and I'll mention it again later for the digital literacy. Anyways. So the Department of Labor, and then there was a couple websites that we were able to look at for the Tech for Reentry program. The GCF Global is one of them, which is like career search, job search, resume building, practice interviews, education and training, all of that. It was such a good website, and I've given that to a lot of other people after that program. And then another one is, I think I skipped my digital literacy slide, but I'll go back to it. The Tech for Reentry program, or the honestjobs.com it's like a LinkedIn or an Indeed for currently and formerly incarcerated people and their employers, but that is another really great resource as well. Okay, I'm gonna go back really fast.
And Courtney, just so you know, you've got probably about 5 minutes or so.
Okay, I'm gonna wrap it up. The digital literacy portion of what we do here is a big part of what we do as well. So with that, the tech, aside from us having technical difficulties all the time, but so 3D design is huge. There's with how many 3D printers we have, obviously it's kind of, once you walk in the door, it's 3D printers. So there's a lot of public interest in learning how to do your own designs for it and create your own parts. And so we do several classes for adults and for teens for design, whether it's, and then on different platforms as well. So from beginner to novice to more advanced levels of the digital literacy or of the 3D design. And then, so yeah, I know I already said the Tech for Reentry, but that is one of the programs that we did. Another grant that we were able to get, we did tech backpacks for formerly incarcerated individuals, and they were able to come in and get a Chromebook, and we did weekly classes with them for just kind of learning how to use that technology. And just it was really great. We were able to get, again, different presenters each time and talk about different topics. And we had people, a lot of staff members volunteer, so we were able to kind of do that one-on-one with them. So if they're all at different learning stages and where they're at with technology and have different projects in mind, so being able to just like do a one-on-one with them was awesome. So different coding classes that we've done, lots of lunch and learns here that have been really great. Coda Notion, we did an AI Olympics for teens that was really fun. They did creating video games, and they had this like ethics debate of using AI, and it was really cool. But we've done Excel workshops, cybersecurity, Photoshop pop-ups, and all of that. A couple pictures here of that, and I'll scoot along. And yeah, so um, while our priorities may have shifted a little bit um, to that business community, teens have still remained a priority here. So just knowing that they are our future business owners and leaders and future creatives and all of that, we definitely wanted to make sure that they still were able to feel comfortable, and we had programs and all of that here. So this is one of the AI Olympics, and we had some teens over for the networking breakfast. We're planning on doing it's a ready set network. It's still in the workshops, but yeah, so there it's still very workforce development and business focus with the teens as well and all of that. And I think I'm over my time, and so I'm gonna stop. But yeah, thank you so much. Oh wait, one more thing. So sorry, I had to put the slide of our team on here. One of the final resources that I'd like to talk about is just this amazing team that we have at Unbound. I can go out into the community and bring people back in all day. We can put on the best programs ever, but it's our team that has really helped the community with where we're at now. So since Unbound's birth, it's really been this culture of just let's see what happens, and we have to learn how to use all the machines, and then learn how to do maintenance on the machines, and then train the public on the machines. And yeah, I'm just so proud of my team. So that's all I wanted to say for that one. But this is my contact information if anybody wants to reach out. And yeah, thank you.
Yay. Thank you, Courtney. That was fabulous. Yeah, and thank you for sharing the contact information. If folks have questions, they can put those in the chat and perhaps you can answer them in the chat while Marina starts her presentation on cool online resources on Lily. I will turn it over to Marina.
All right. Thanks, Chelsea, and thanks for sharing all of that, Courtney. It's super interesting to see what you all are doing at Unbound. Let's see. Share my screen. You should all be able to see my slides now. All right. So, couple of great business and workforce development resources from the Idaho Commission for Libraries. So, a little bit about me. As Chelsea said, I'm the e-resources library consultant, which means I get to work with all of the wonderful electronic resources available through the ICFL, one of them being our Lily databases. Just a little background on Lily for those of you who may not be familiar. Lily is Libraries Linking Idaho. It was established in 1998, if you can believe it. And it is a collection of digital resources that are available at no cost to all Idaho residents. They don't need a library card. They don't need to go anywhere special. They just need an internet connection. And then we provide resources from mid-elementary through college with adult resources, such as the business resources that I'm going to share with you today. So we'll skip ahead. This is just a snapshot of the 4 tools I'm going to show you today. We'll go through the business resources first, Business Source Premier and Small Business Source, and then I'll touch on a couple of additional resources for general workforce development. All right, so I'm going to close out of that, and you'll see my nice lily.org screen here. So if you haven't used Lily, this is what the homepage looks like. And just a heads up, it will be changing in a couple of months to a nice new clean homepage. So don't be surprised if in a few months when you're here, it looks a little different. So what I'm going to do is look at our topics right here, and I want to go to business and look at the business specific resources on Lily. See, Business Source Premier is right up here at the top. So I'm going to go ahead and access that. And it looks like I've already authenticated at some point today. So usually it will ask me for a zip code and city to log in. That's how I get in. This has also had a facelift recently. So if you've used Business Source Premier in the past, you may notice that it's different. It's a lot more visually appealing and easier to navigate now. There are tons of resources on here, but just a few things that I'll point out. There's some pretty major business magazines available. So if I click on that, these are the leading business magazines, and then I can choose one and go read articles from the latest issue from a few years ago. So as we know, the way of magazines is going digital, and a lot of times they're behind a paywall. You can access them here. So if I go back to the home screen of Business Source Premier, you'll see there's tons of other great ways that you can use this resource. The one I like to point to is industry reports. So if you're building your business and you want information on other businesses or just the state of your industry in general, this is a good place to go. I like to look at industry reports by sector, so then I can narrow it down to my specific industry and get information on that industry. Okay. And I'm going to pop through these resources really quickly. So if there are questions, I will take them at the end and I can pop back into any of these resources at that time. But I'm going to now go out of Business Source Premier, back to my business list, and scroll all the way down to the bottom to look at Small Business Source. As is in the title, this is a great resource for small businesses, especially those trying to get their businesses established. Um, it looks similar to Business Source Premier. The user interface is similar. There you have this great startup information that is specific to states. They have all 50 states listed there. NOLO guides are also available in here. So if I go to NOLO business guides, for any libraries who maybe this is a popular resource in your library and you can't afford to keep buying the hard copy, this is a great place to send folks. You can look at the latest guides here. And then like other research databases, if I click into one of these ebooks, it's going to give me a long list here and break up that book by different chapters. However, I do like to point out that once you're in a chapter, the rest of the book will show up on the right-hand side here, so you can jump to different chapters once you are in a chapter or article view. That is NOLO guides. Let's not close out that way. So we go back to our Small Business Source homepage. Again, there are several topics that you can go through. You can look at sample business plans, go over the basics of business. This particular database has several business ebooks that are integrated into it, so you can search through those. Again, if you're just looking for industry information and reports, there's industry information here. Business Source Premier has market line reports. Small Business Source has Barnes reports. So that's one of the major differences. But again, you're looking for your specific industry here. Okay, those are the two big business resources we have on Lilly. If I go back to my Lilly business list here, I'll just point out a couple of other things. The Learning Express library has what's called a career center, but there are some great like intro to business workforce development type tools within the career center if it loads properly. The one thing I will say as it's loading with Learning Express is you do have to create an account. It's a free account to access any of the tools in here. It's pretty quick setup. So you'll see under the career prep, there's again tons of different resources. So a lot of professional exam preparation if you're preparing for a certain field. Some of the most popular are the nursing exams and the teaching exams, such as the Praxis. But I want to show you under job search and workplace skills. There's great tools here, information on improving your resume and cover letters, interviewing better, and then this strengthen your business writing skills. And then it breaks it down into a few different topics once you're in there. And again, you do have to sign in or register to view the full thing. This has some great ebooks that folks can download, and it's theirs to keep forever, as well as tutorials that they can use to improve their skills. All right, jump back to our business resource list here. And let's see, it's actually not listed here. If I go to my home screen here and go to Gale eBooks, we have some great business related Gale ebooks that are kind of a hidden gem a lot of folks don't know about, so I just wanted to point them out here. Once I'm in the Gale ebooks, I just click business over here on the left-hand side, and you'll see there are, looks like 8 ebooks here that you can look at. So let's look at Career Match. Once we're in here, I'm just going to choose one of these chapters. I can, as with other resources, I can download, print it, share. I can, if I like that traditional book or ebook view, I can switch it to that. And there are several accessibility options to make it easier to read and access as well. So I just went through those very fast to make sure that we got done at noon. So I am happy to take questions or look at any of those in more detail if anyone would like me to. Okay.
All right. Are there any questions for Marina on Lily resources? All right.
I'll stop sharing then.
Perfect. Well, Marina sped through that. So if there are any questions for Courtney, we can also circle back to her fabulous presentation from unBound.
Marina, I should know the answer to this, but I'm going to ask it anyway. When we were talking about business plans, and Courtney mentioned the Gale Business Plan Builder, that's a something that they've found independently and not on Lily. Is that correct?
That is correct. Yes. I will say, Courtney actually invited me to present for a group through the Northwest Business Impact / Idaho Women's Business Center, and I highlight some of Meridian's resources when I do those presentations, one of them being the Plan Builder. So
Nice.
good job, MLD.
And then is there a way for people to get alerts for if they are interested in the entrepreneur magazines or some of those other things when a new issue comes on board?
Absolutely. Would you like me to show you?
Yeah, if we have time, I think that that's a nice feature that maybe not everybody knows about.
Yeah, I think we have time since I sped through my presentation, so I didn't want to take too long. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay, so you should be seeing my desktop. Let's see, so Business Source Premier is what that would be under. Let's go back to the home screen. And okay, let's pick, Stephanie said entrepreneur, so we'll look at that one. Couple of steps you have to go through, but if I go to view all results, I do have to create an account if I want to get those alerts. So let me sign into my EBSCO. It should take me back here. See if I can remember my password since I wasn't prepared. Okay, hold for one moment while I find my password. Let's see.
While Marina's digging, you can also throw any other questions or thoughts, comments in the chat too. We're having EBSCO problems. It's just a technology problem day on a technology workshop day. That's just how it goes. It
It
is
is. Okay,
inevitable.
excuse me. And now my throat's dry. So it should be under tools. It won't let me sign in.
I think just knowing that that's
It is
a
a thing you can
feature.
do. Yeah.
Yeah,
And if
I
you have alerts set up, they do show up over here. But you can do that. Yeah. And it will email you those alerts. Thank you for bringing that up, Stephanie.
This is all really awesome. I guess I did not know that you could sign in to EBSCO. So even that alone was like a good thing for me to play around with. But yeah, all of these tools are really great. And Courtney has helped me out personally with a lot of building things for Boise's business resources and stuff too. So I always appreciate all of the help and all of the knowledge that Courtney has.
That is fabulous to hear. Thanks, Monique, for sharing that. There's always something I learn on Lily every time Marina does a demonstration. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize it did that. So it's a deep well to dive into for all sorts of cool things. All right, we have just a couple of minutes, so I won't kick us out early if there are other questions for Marina or for Courtney. Um,
No question, just a note, I'm always looking to learn more about Business Source Premier. I don't use it enough, and I'm sure there's so much that I don't even know about it, so thank you.
Well, I will make sure to personally email you when we have a deep dive demo in the spring.
And Marina, where are the links for all of your deep dive recordings on Lily?
Oh, good question. So I won't share my screen again, but I will put the link in the chat. So there's a nice button, just guides under lily.org. It's not hyperlinking, but that is the link right there, lily.org guides. And whenever we do a live webinar, we put the recordings there, as well as we link out to the vendor-specific recordings for each of the databases.
Perfect. All right, you have a lot of interest in the Business Source Premier deep dive, so that is fabulous. Okay. Well, we are going to wrap it up here. Thank you all again so much for coming. Thank you to MLD and Courtney, especially for your presentation. That was fabulous. We always love seeing what our Idaho libraries are up to. It makes these way more fun and special. And thank you to Marina for the little mini dive onto Lily. So have a fabulous Wednesday, everyone, and we will see you at the next one.